Hi, this is Elliot Eisenberg of Stellar MLS, here to catch you up to date on the latest on the economy, the housing market, and interest rates and the Florida economy. And the news is pretty good all in all. The economy continues to chug forward and do it well. We know that because unemployment is very low at 4%. It's actually fallen from 4.1 or 4.2 to 4%. And inflation is doing well, but it hasn't done well enough because the economy's strong. The Fed would like to see inflation fall to 2%, but it's stuck at about 2.5%. With unemployment low at 4%, having fallen a little bit of late, and inflation not falling enough and stalling out at about 2.5%, the Fed is not going to be cutting rates anytime soon, because if they do, they're fearful that unemployment will fall more and inflation will go up, causing more inflation. On top of that, the Fed's other big concern are policies coming from Washington with the new administration and the new Congress. Some of these policies they fear, and I think have an inflationary bias to them. They include tariffs, immigration reform, and potential tax cuts. Until the Fed has a better handle on which of these policies the new administration and Congress follows and how much they follow. I mean, how much of a tax cut are we going to get? How much are tariffs going to go up, and so on and so forth. And because inflation and unemployment are flatlining, the Fed is likely to hold its fire. So the economy's good, but interest rates moves are on hold. I suspect we get rate cuts in the second half of the year, but a lot depends on policies coming out of Washington, D.C. In terms of Florida, our state continues to do remarkably well. The key variable here, population growth. Florida grew in 2024 by 2%. That was twice the national average. It was the best performance across all 50 states. This is the third or fourth year in a row that Florida has done absolutely spectacularly. And as a result, Florida's population has grown by about 450,000. The demand for housing in Florida is going to remain strong. In terms of foreign purchases of houses here in Florida, I suspect they'll continue to be somewhat weak because the American dollar is much stronger than the Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso. And this is because interest rates here are higher because our economy is better than those two neighboring countries. People have a lot of concern about DOGE and what it will mean for the Florida economy as they lay off some government workers and so on and so forth. While I'm concerned about the impacts of DOGE for DC, the District of Columbia, and suburban Maryland and Northern Virginia, here in Florida, 1,000 or 1,500 miles away from Washington, D.C., I'm not all that concerned. I don't think a lot of job cuts are going to take place here. I'm not all that concerned. Last but certainly not least, the housing market in Florida will continue to do okay. The national housing market is not on fire and doing remarkably well. Neither will it here in Florida. That said, I expect the housing market sales activity to jump up by about 5 or 6%, and I expect price appreciation to be in the 2 or 3% range in calendar year 25. I hope this is helpful, and thanks very much for listening.